All right, welcome back. 12 Days of Christmas 4. Oh, is everyone starting to get tired? Like you're in the middle of the long haul, right?
No.
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 Too much fun.
That is fantastic. Let's go. Let's do this. I love it.
Well, things get interesting as we send day number 4 to the Great White North. I feel like I should be making all kinds of Bob and Doug McKenzie jokes because that's possibly the greatest Christmas song ever. But Ian Campbell, my man, it is all you tonight. The floor is yours.
All me. Well, it's hard to follow up what was thrown out last night with Casey there, which was delicious. But this is a fun pour. I'll start it off with the story before I tell you what it is. The story is I sent a bottle to Will and Matt, who are around in Aura or Spirit right now. I sent a bottle to them randomly about 2.5 years ago, and they reviewed it, and it kind of started a friendship that was pretty special. That friendship leading on to another bottle being cracked at an Airbnb in Nashville with Corey, Jason, and Nat, and that was the second iteration of this. And then the third iteration of this was cracked on the porch of Beaumont and finished on the porch of Beaumont, and I don't remember much of it. Most of us probably don't remember much of that. So this is the Lot 40 Cast Strength, the third edition.
Nice.
It's a rye whiskey, 100% pot still rye whiskey, but this one they did a little bit different. It's 54%, 57%, so 114 proof. But they finished 75% of the casks in French oak, so it's got a unique character to it. So it's still got some proof, still got some rye deep in there, but the French oak really takes over and kind of mellows it and smooths it out a little bit. But I really like it. So, and it's a Canadian whiskey. The bottle's handsome, just like myself, and it's
Absolutely.
so yeah. That's I wanted to share that with you from something up here. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Ian.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Already had my first taste. It is creme brulee.
Creme brulee.
I bought Lot 40 specifically because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
absolutely. It was the second batch.
Okay.
And I think after I bought it, you told me I bought the wrong batch.
Well,
I can't remember.
still good. The first batch, the 12-year-old was incredible. It was like
That's what it was.
never produced that before, which was pretty special. A lot of people kind of equate that to the George D. Stagg of Canadian whiskey. So it's bold and powerful. And then they went a little different with this. The casks are a little younger with this one, but then they threw the French oak in to change it up a bit. It got a lot of flack actually from a lot of the Lot 40 lovers because they wanted that bold rye punch, and this kind of just tapers that down a little bit. So, but I really like it. It's a good one.
Awesome.
I've got a red hot on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those red hot candies.
So, Ian, you said this is the same batch we had last year at Beaumont that you brought?
This is that batch 3. They didn't have a new one out yet, so COVID kind of hampered their northern border collection, they call it, the release. They pushed it back a little bit because they didn't know what was happening in production and all that stuff. So this is the last cast strength batch that was out, so I thought I'd throw that at y'all. And
wow,
yeah,
awesome. I was hoping you'd do this. This is awesome.
That the nose is amazing, but the finish just sneaks back up on you, like it fades away and then just goes.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Curves up.
That's fantastic, man.
Fun.
It is fun. It's a fun drink.
It's a little different all the way through.
Exactly it.
It still has a lot of that rye back of the tongue flavor. So different than last night's.
Yeah, I find you have to dig at it a little bit with this. Maybe it's because I'm so used to the brand, and it's so paunchy, the other ones. But this one, you have to kind of search for the rye a little bit more. But I really like it.
Got some white pepper on the nose too.
It's just really sticky. I just like how much it lingers.
Yeah.
Nat, so Nat's got some fun notes for it.
So on the nose, I got apricot jam, wedding cookie, apple juice, and mixed fruit jam. And then I got on the palate peach Bellini, Grand Marnier, and a clove-studded orange and cinnamon.
What is a
That's
wedding
awesome.
cookie?
Like a Mexican wedding cookie or a Greek.
Has the powdered
cotilleadas.
sugar and the almonds and
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So my wife smelled this, who is not a whiskey fan whatsoever. I'm like, just smell this. The guys are going to taste this tomorrow and let me know what you think. And she's like, it smells smoky, like a sweet, smoky barbecue sauce. And I was
I
like,
can get that. Yeah.
really?
Huh.
And then I just kept smelling, like all day yesterday. I was like, just nosing it. And that's, I kind of get that like hint of smoke.
There's a little tangy,
Kind of
Jar,
apple
yeah.
cider vinegar.
yeah, kind of the apple juice.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, 2 points for mixed fruit jam. I win.
I saw that on there and I'm like, did I?
Oh, that's right.
That was a 2-day prank.
Yeah.
Ian and I put that in the notes to see if you would say it.
Mhm.
After
said,
your mom's joke.
I
about
wrote
the
this
mixed-
down just like you wrote it the other day.
So I had to lie, but it worked.
Ty, is it what you remember?
I don't remember much.
I remember trying it at Southern Whiskey Society and just absolutely loving it.
Yeah, that was the batch. That was the one that Casey has, the 11 year. So that was a lot more rye forward. This one's a lot more. The French oak really does something to this. So
What do you think the French oak does? I was going to ask you. But
I
smooth
find
it
it. Yeah, it kind of mellows the rye. The French oak's really predominant in it compared to the other years. I find a lot more fruit, especially that nose. I kind of get like a weird fruit nose. I can't pin it. I don't have the nat skills, but there's some kind of like weird fruit note or not common fruit note for me on the nose that I like. It's just interesting. So, and the cinnamon and the still rye spices there once you get at it. But,
How old is this, Ian?
So probably 8 years. So Canadian whiskey does some funky things. They're allowed to the leniency that they have up here is pretty large. So they didn't age state it because I'm not sure if they ran out of the older aged rye or whatnot, but this is their flavoring grain for all Canadian whiskeys. So Canadian whiskeys distill every grain separately and then blend it all afterwards. And so it's not like a mash bill. They just take what they want and kind of blend it. So this is a big flavoring grain. And the Lot 40, just the regular bottling, is a spicy rye. It's a really decent try if you're just looking for something. I think it's 43%, but it's got a lot of character to it. So then I'm guessing this is around 8 years or so. And then they did put a bunch of them in the French oak casks for an unknown age, but yeah.
in Canada, if they add the non-whiskey to it, because they can do a certain percentage, right? Like 8% or something like that. Do they have to label that that's in there?
They don't. So this, if you're interested in Canadian whiskey at all, Dr. Don Livermore, who's the blender who blends this whiskey, and he's a mad scientist of the North, if you will, from Wisers. He's a really good follow on Instagram, and he's talked about this a ton, and that's the only thing they did was the cask finish. They didn't add anything else. It's still 100% rye. Just the cask has been the difference with this one. So, but yeah,
That's
great.
phenomenal.
It's really, really good.
Casey, you like it?
I'm still trying to find a bottle on this that I'm not trying to buy now. So it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really crazy how they're all just been like, man, that's really, really good.
Like a piece of candy in your mouth.
It is sweet. I find this one. So Lot 40 is one of the only Canadian whiskeys that use virgin oak that I've found anyway. A lot of it's rebarreled. So they'll grab an ex-bourbon barrel or something and dump it in there. That's why you get that mellow sweetness. It's not as punchy as bourbon is. And I find maple syrup is a common Canadian whiskey trait. This has a little bit of that maple syrup sweetness on the nose. I find that. So it leans a little more Canadian than the traditional Lot 40 does, which is not a bad thing. I think it's a good sweet cask strength whiskey, which Canada doesn't have many cask strengths until recently. So
This is so approachable though. Like I feel like I could put this in front of anybody, even like a first time person for rye, and they would
Totally agree.
think this.
yeah.
I get so much butterscotch too. I don't know if
That's
anybody.
where I was getting that creme brulee
Yeah,
kind of.
it's more of a butter. Yeah, to me, it's like a butterscotch, more of a creamy, more than just like a caramel or vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Smells like friendship.
And regret.
Hashtag Northern Proof 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Wow.
Check it out on Instagram.
I was honestly nervous when I poured it because I was like, man, this is really light. I'm like, what we getting into here? And then I nosed it and I was like, it doesn't smell light.
Yeah.
And I tasted it and I'm like, it definitely doesn't taste light. It's got so much character and body to it. And I just love that sweet finish.
Yeah, it's funny. So with Casey's yesterday, the oaky, I got a lot of oak on it. I think I said that. And then this one, I get it's a different oak. There's the French oak. You can still taste some tannin in it. But it's just, I love the bold bourbon. And then coming to this, I was like, oh, I'm curious how everybody will receive it. But yeah, it's good. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Well received.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun because all four of these I've not had the chance to try. I think I might have tried this last year, but
Oh, Troy, you wouldn't
for
remember
sure.
it.
But yeah,
Who knows?
it's,
We'll never know.
Yeah.
these have all been a treat. So thanks, guys.
And I love how everybody keeps saying Whiskey Weekend was last year. Like we've just completely
Yeah.
lost track of time.
Well, it seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
No, I'm with you. I said it last night too, so I'm not just calling you out.
Yeah.
It's just like it's crazy. But
Last year in a couple weeks.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yesterday and 8 months ago are the same day. It's just
Yeah, pretty much feels
it's,
like it.
that's how it goes right now.
It was the last official normal thing we did, if you could call it that.
That's true. Is we came back and got locked down.
Yeah.
That's what we've been calling this virus the Wheezy 19.
Well-
Fantastic stuff.
I hope we don't have the return of the COVID for the shirts this time. Return of the Wheeze was fine, but return of the COVID, prefer not.
Yeah, I think they
no.
would not sell real well.
They should call this one vaccinated. So
That might work.
Makes
Except
good
you can't
sticker.
drink for 2 months or something if you're in Russia.
Good luck with that.
What?
Hell on the Hillside is such a good name.
The
Well-
game changer.
4 down, 8 to go, which I don't know. We get finished and then I get more excited, right? Just because what a trip, and it's just going to get even more diverse. I think by the time we get done with this, well, all your friends are already jealous. They'll even be even more jealous by the time we get finished. So day number 5, who's up next?
Eric's on deck.
Eric.
Eric's in day
I'm
5.
up. I'm up tomorrow. Yep.
So for Eric got the Run DMC sticker. Podcast in Hollis, and you have no idea how happy the Run DMC sticker makes me. So
love
Christmas in Hollis is like one of the all-time great Christmas songs ever. So
Agreed.
Is that the one that was
Tomorrow.
in Die Hard? That they were playing in the limousine?
yes, the same.
That's awesome. Awesome.
The same. All right, folks. We'll see you tomorrow night to round this up and do it again. So Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
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 Merry Christmas.
Cheers.